level 4 class. And first, let's do some review. And does anyone remember what we have learned last week? Anyone remember anything? So what we learned last week is the image. And then what do we do with image? You can zoom an image. You can rotate an image. And also you can flip an image. And you can crop an image. And you with crop and the subsurface, then you can do crop. You can crop an image. And finally, we can save our screen to an image file. So we did all those last week. So you can handle that. And I wanted to ask two students to present their homework. And as I mentioned before, if you are the first one who submit a perfect homework, I will ask that student to present. So the first one I have is Stephen Wang. I do not see Stephen Wang here. Stephen?
No,
Okay, I do not see him here.
he's not here yet.
So Jingjing, you are the second one. So Jingjing, do you mind to present your homework? To share your homework to the class?
Yeah, okay. Okay, let me just put it in the chat.
Yeah, run it first. Cool. That's very good. So you have the stadium and then you have the field and you rotated the field. That's very good work. So do you want to walk through your code? Just a part of doing the images.
So I just like put the colors, and this is like the function that we use to write text, and then I loaded the image of the big stadium, and this like makes the picture the right size that I want, and then this like puts the picture where I want it to go, and then I put the text, and then with like the coordinates of where it was. Also some of these I didn't need. I'm just testing it. And I made crop stayed to make like a subsurface so that I could paste like the chopped version on it. And yeah, so that's like this part's the smaller stadium. And here I rotated it 90 degrees. And then here that's where I cut part of the bigger image out. And then I put the smaller image below it.
Yeah. Yes. So that's very good. That is very good. So you did everything I asked for, and very good on it. So that shows that you understand everything we have learned so far for images. And of course, we will do more, but I think probably very late in this semester. So we are going to do more on images. But what you did, and it's really good. And the rest of the class, and I do not receive much homework. If you do not do your homework, actually you give me more extra time. But I do miss the opportunity to see how you work in the class. So I cannot help you more without get any homework from you. Let's move on. I do not see Stephen Wang here yet. So let's just move on. We are going to learn a very useful new skill. So what is it? Event and its handler. Okay, so that's what we are going to learn. And actually, this topic is very big. It's not just for Pygame. It's one of the most important topics in all interactive programming language. That means if you wanted to have a user interface, and this is one of the most important topics. It's called event, and it's handled. So what are those? So let's move on to the next slide. So an event is an action or occurrence recognized by software, often originating asynchronously from the external environment that may be handled by the software. So what are those? These are just some examples. A mouse click, a mouse movement, a key press, okay? So these are all events in your application. What's the significance of it? So let's keep moving on and read it. So what is the event handler? All right, so let me get some student to help me read it because your English is much better than mine. So Victor, do you mind help me read this slide?
An event handler is a program that is executed when the event occurs. It can be just one line or several lines of code, but typically it's a function in Python. The execution of that function is triggered by the event.
That's good. That is good. So what is the event handler? So that event handler actually is just a function. This function will be executed if that event happens. Okay? If that event happens, and that function will be executed. So now you understand why we need to learn a function in Python. Actually, function in all other languages, because you can call it, you can execute it when something happens. All right, so now let's move on. So let's just take a quick look at the event we have in the Pygame. So can you guys go to this website? Let me go there. Pygame website. Okay, let's move on to the top. And click on event. Click on it. Okay. So at least I want you guys to take a quick look of this event type. Okay, event type. Go and quickly look at this. Spend 2 minutes on it. All right, I want you to come back. So let's just come back to my slides. So I want you to look at the event. And I said the event is very important. And now I want you to come to this paragraph. In our code, there was a part that I did not touch on purpose before. So in the very beginning of the Python Pygame class, so on level 3, the first week, and I told you, okay, that code we will learn in the future, but we do not learn it today. So when I said that in the first week of Pygame class, and what is that code? That code is on the next slide here. So this is the code. So let me put this on the context. What is on the context? That's this part. So you see you have the while loop, right? While not crushed. And then you have this block of code here. And we never talk about this code before. We never talk about it before. We just said, I want to touch it. We will learn it in the future because it's very important. So now it is the time for us to learn it. All right. So let me, if you want, can you create a new Python file? So let me give you the simplest Pygame code. Let me give this to you. And then we can try it, okay? Do you wanted to keep the work you had last week? So that's why I suggest you to do a new Python file. Do that. Let me give you this simplest code, and then let's do something on it. All right, so let's do that. Let me put it here in this code. Okay. So this is the simplest Python code. If you do not remember it, let me just run it. Just create a very simple Pygame window like this. Very simple Pygame window. All right. And this is the part. This is the part. We are going to spend the time on it this week and the next week because it's so important. So can you guys get the copy of the simplest code and then run it? You can create a new Python file in your PyCharm and run it. Okay. Go ahead and do that. Let me give you 1 more minute to do that. Okay. So if you have that code and you see here, I want you to come to look at this on my screen. You see pygame.event.get. What does it mean? Okay, if I do not know what it means, then I come here on this website, pygame.event.get. So what does it do? This will get all the messages. Okay, you will get all the events from the queue. So all the events in the queue, you will got it. So it will give you all the events that happened or that occurs during the Pygame when you run it. And we are going to look at it, okay? So you do not worry about that at this moment. So what does it mean? So here is that. And then you say we use the event type. If it is equal to Pygame quit, then you stop the game. So without this code, see what happens. Can you look at my screen? Can you highlight everything here? The whole thing, okay? remove it. And then now save your code and then run it. So now you see I have a very busy, you see I have a very busy cursor here. And if you do anything to this game window, it doesn't respond to you. It does not respond to you. And that means your game cannot do anything. Even you click on this one, even you click on it, okay? Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Okay? So now you know how important that code is. So let me get that code back and now undo it. So I get this code. So you see this code is very, very, very important. You see just 3 lines of code. Without it, okay, the program does not respond to you. If you click on the exit button at top right, was no response. Okay, so that's why it is important. It handles a lot of things. Then you ask me, what is it doing? So let's just do a little bit more. So event get, I just ask you guys to take a look at it. So it will get all the messages and it will go to retrieve it and then remove it from the queue. Okay. All code will terminate the game if the event type is pygame.quit. What does it mean? That means, okay, if you run it now, and if you click on this, that means pygame quit. So the event type equal to that one. That will generate an event called quit. Okay, so now it will turn off your game. It will turn off your game. So let me pause here. Any question from you? Any question? Okay, if no question, let's move on then. Move on. So we are going to dive into it, okay? We are going to learn more. So let's go back to the website and look into more on several things. So event type, event attribute, and the comments in the event. I think I already asked you guys to look into the event type, event attribute. So I'm not going to ask you to do that again. We are just trying to do something to make it fun first, and then we go back to look at it. Okay, so let's just do one thing. Let's print out the event to see what are in it. So you guys just go ahead and type in the code. Okay, type in code. Look at what I'm doing here. Type in your code here. So put this line of code after the for statement. After the for statement. Just do that. Now save your code and click the run button. Now move your mouse. Move your mouse, click your button and click your keyboard and see what happens, what prints out. See how busy it is. How many things has been printed out? You see how many things happen here just by that block of code. So it's a lot of events. So let me stop here. I needed to pick up 2 students. I wanted to see your screen. All right, so the first one I wanted to check is say Nina.
Okay, let me share. Can you see it?
I cannot see it at this moment.
Mm, okay, well, it only lets me share one screen at a time, so you'll only see like one thing or the other.
You cannot share the entire screen. That's okay. Go ahead. I wanted to see the output in the PyCharm window. So you share the PyCharm window, okay?
Okay.
And you do, yeah, good. Very good. Can you press the key? Press any key? Keyboard key.
Um,
Yeah, press any keyboard keys. Okay. All right, click the mouse. Try click the mouse. All right. Right, nice mouse move motion. Click the mouse. You click the left button of the mouse. Okay. All right. So then, thank you very much. And you could just go back to look at the output from the event. So let me get a boy. Okay. So Jeff, do you mind?
I'm having some issues right now.
Okay. So then let me ask Alec. Alec. All right. So let me try Thomas. Okay. Can you move your mouse? Click your mouse. Okay. And click on the keyboard key.
I didn't have a lot of keyboard keys.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Thank you for that. I see that you already did more code there. Yeah, you can close up. All right, good. So everyone follow me. And you see actually that block of code did a lot of things. It did a lot of things. And I want to share my screen, you see, a mouse button up. So that means it's clicked. So this is printed out. But let me to find a keyboard key. Let's see, do I have a keyboard key? Okay. There's the keyboard key down, keyboard key up. You see the attribute information you get is different. It's based on the event type. If the mouse movement, you see you have those attributes. If the keyboard key event, you see you have those attributes. And when you see the attributes, actually what do you see? It's a dictionary, right? In the Python, this is dictionary. It's a curly brace, right? You have the key, you have the value. You have the key, you have the value. You have another key, you have the value, right? So now I want you to go back to read the website. Hopefully it makes more sense to you. Okay, so you come here, see, click on event. And then you see, you talk about the event, then you have the event type. And then you see the event type, actually, you get the dictionary. So there's a dictionary in it. Click on it. So the dictionary value is totally based on what type of the event it is. This should give you a clue which key is pressed, which button is pressed. All right. And then I want you to tie these two together. So you have the event. And there are two big categories of event. One is key. So you click on key. One is mouse. Click on mouse. Click on mouse now. And click on key now. Spend 5 minutes on both mouse and the key. Do that. I do not expect that you read whole thing, but just read whatever you feel interested in. You say the key name. So say this is a key name, that is the real key pressed. So just go ahead, okay? Go ahead to find out what interests you. And just do some reading, and then we come back to do some exercise. So you click on key, click on mouse. Mouse is just which button is clicked. Okay? Left button or right button. Right? So you use get pressed. All right, I want you to come back. So you see a capture screen of those events. And then now let's move to the next slide. So you can see that mouse move, button click, and the key done events are all captured. You also see that different event has different attributes. And I want you to look at this. That's what I just asked you. Look at the mouse and the key website. So more information. So you can find from these two websites. Okay. So the next one, let's just try one thing. So most event have a position attribute. So it's a POS. So let's print it out. So this time, okay, let's just do this. Let me just copy this to the end of code and give it to you. And I want you to follow me and see what happens, okay? So let me get this. Okay, I did not pay attention to chat window, and I think I missed your request, Lucia. So let me give you the link. So the event, let me give you this. Sorry about that. So this is
No, sorry, I meant the link to install Pygame because I just installed Python. I haven't installed Pygame yet.
or you have not installed a Pygame. So you are using the Windows box, right?
Mm-hmm.
That may take some time. We need to get it out from the YouTube website. I have my instruction there. I think I have my instruction there. Should be level 3, Python level 3 list. Python level 3. Should be the this one. Let me give this to you. So if you follow this instruction, it should guide you through.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's move on. So what we need to do, follow me, okay, get those 2 lines of code and come back to our website, our PyCharm, and replace this 2, replace this 1 line of code, okay, replace it. So this time you say if POS in event dot DICT, that means the dictionary. The dictionary, you have the keys function, or we say method. This will get all the keys, and you get a list of the keys. So that's why you can check if the position POS in that keys or not. If it is, print it out. So let me just run it again now. I will move my mouse. Okay. If I move my mouse. No, let me see. You see, this is what it print out. So this is the coordinates, X and Y value. That's the position. So now you can get the position of your mouse move. All right. So because if it's a mouse move or mouse click, then you have the position because that is in your events attribute. It is in this dictionary. This will be very fun now. So let's just do something more interesting. So let's move on. So let's follow mouse movement and draw a line. Okay. So let me give you this code. All right. So you use this code and now come back to our PyCharm. Then let me replace this 2 line of code. Use the new code. So I will explain to you what does this do. You see, if this is a mouse event, if the start point is equal to none, okay, then we will start draw a line, and that's the screen. And you use a red color to draw it, and then that's a start point. Okay, and then there's the event position. So you draw it from the start point to the event position, and what is the width you use? It's a 3, right? So if the start point is equal to none, okay, that means you set the new position to the start point. So the first time it will not draw a line, but the second movement it will draw a line. So right now here we do not have a code for red. So let's just define red. Red equal to 255 0 0. All right, let me save the code now. And let me run it. And I want you Okay, let me set the start point. Sorry about that. So you need to set the start point to none. So now let me run it. Now watch my screen. So let me see. So that's the mouse movement. You can draw a line. Okay, let me stop man. And I wanted to have two students to show me. I wanted to get 3 students, but remember,
I go?
okay, you need to set red. You need to set the start point to none here. All right. So there's a question there. Okay. If there's no question, do I get a volunteer? Okay, Stephen Wang. I asked you to present your homework before, but looks like you are late today. So, yeah, can you share your screen? Yes. Good. I wanted to get a lady. So, Serena, do you want to share?
It's kind of in a different tablet.
All right. So, how about Jennifer? Jennifer?
Yeah, sorry. I think my thing wants me to change my settings to share screen. I don't think it works.
You cannot share it?
Yeah, it's not letting me share screen.
Okay, so how about you, Chloe?
Oh, I'm not done yet.
I have not get it done. Okay. Do you need my help?
I'm good.
You're good. Okay, so then can I get a Eulania? Eulania? Yes. I do not see you game window, so that's why I do not see you. Can you share your game window? Yeah. Share your entire screen so I can see your code and also see your game window when you run it. Good. Very good work. All right. I want another boy. Then
Can I go?
yes, go ahead.
Okay, let me just switch camera. All right, here's my code. Let's run it. Now you see random red.
Yes, I do see it. Good. All right. So you see that this is very, very important, right? So actually, all the interactive applications, you have to interact with the user as an event, like a key press, an input, a mouse movement, button click, something like that, right? So that's why you have that very important block of code that captures those events, and then you can do something based on the event. You can also get the attribute of the event and do something. So that's very, very important. And it's also make your application interactive and attractive. And you have to do it. You have to use the event. Very good. So let's move on. So can you modify the code and play a sound when the mouse left button is clicked? Let's spend 10 minutes on this. The first thing you want to figure out what is the left button on the mouse event. And then capture it when it is clicked. So once it is clicked, you need to play a sound. Okay, you can play a short sound. Okay, let me just put this in the chat window and give you 10 minutes to do this. And I hope you can finish it. If you finish, then you can volunteer and to share yours, okay? So let me stop sharing. And you need to look at the mouse website. And also figure out what is the left button. So let me just help Lucia. Lucia, do you want me to help you now to install Pygame? Do you mind to share your window?
Sorry, I'm doing it on a separate device.
Okay.
On my
Okay, then you just watch my screen. Okay, let me show you how to do that.
Okay.
So you see here with the PyCharm, right? You have a project created. And then you just go to the file menu, go to settings, click on it. And there should be a dialog window pop up. Choose your project and then choose project interpret. If you have an interpreter here, that is good. If you do not, then you have to add one. So when you try to add an interpreter, usually you do it here. And then you need to find your interpreter. What is the interpreter? It's just that python.exe file. So where you installed your Python, you need to go there and find out. For me, so I will go to E drive.
Interpreter.
What?
I have one. And
Okay, if you have one, let's just stop there. And now you just look at my screen, click the plus sign. And then here you type in Pygame. And you see the Pygame here, just click install package. And you click on it, it should do the work for you. If you have the most recent Python, you may have some trouble, then I need to find the help link to you. But usually, I hope Pygame have resolved that issue, so you can successfully install the package. You see, you type in Pygame here, then select it here. Because I already have it installed. If you select it, then click install package, and it will do the job for you.
okay, yeah, thank you. I got it.
Good. All right. So Anyone finished? Victor, you finished? And Steven Wang finished?
Yeah,
And who else?
I finished. So basically,
Okay, can you run it?
so it's like here. If I just go here, I think I said correct. So I didn't do this.
Cool.
It plays a sound.
Yeah, I like that sound. Can you show
Yeah,
your
so
code to the
these two
class?
don't-
Can you show your code?
Okay, so here I just have this. So this thing is really necessary anymore than this one and that. So basically, if the event
Uh-oh.
type is Pygame mouse,
It will not work because you deleted the whole thing.
because
Okay.
so if the event dot type is Pygame mouse button down, so if the button is pressed down, then it'll just load the music and play it out.
Right. Yes. Yep. So if you check it, if the mouse button down, and then you just forget one thing. So I would say the left button is down. Can you find it? So how, that one, your right button is down. It will also play the sound, right? As it's the left button pressed. Okay. So Stephen, can you share yours? I need to hear the sound. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. So I wanted to get one more student to share me. So Brian Peng. Brian Peng, do you mind to share your screen? You get it done?
I haven't got it
Okay.
to work, figured
I'm
it
not.
out yet.
All right. So how about the Peng Zhu?
I'm still trying to figure out like how to identify if the event type is mouse button down. I think I'm like getting the wrong name for the mouse button down.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So can someone help? Let me share my screen. Okay. Let me share mine. So how do we know that is the left button? So this is my code, okay? So if you say event tab is the mouse button down, so that means the button is clicked. But you also need to check if the event dot button equal to 1. That's the left button. Why I say it's left button? So let's say mouse. Get pressed. So you have those button numbers. Button 1, button 2, button 3. And probably, and this website does not give you that anymore. But if you see event tab, and say if you go there, you'll see the event, the button is 1. So if you still have that printed out, then you click the mouse button. You just click it and you see button value will equal to 1. Do you remember that? Let me just go to my slides a little bit more. You see, if this is the key down, you get the key value 104. The mouse button down, you get the position, and the button value is 1. That means the left button is pressed. And then you can try to press the middle button, the right button, and see what value you got. So that's why I see here. If the left button is down. So let me run mine. So Steve and I think Steve already get it to work. So let me, this one, I move the code here to the code we had last week. Okay. I'm not using the simplest code because I need to play the boot sound. And you can do it as what Victor has done. You can just load that sound again here. And I like your sound, Victor. So if you can share your sound file to me, and then I can use it in my future class to students. Ding dong, that sound, I like it, okay? So let me run the man. So let me run the man. And now if I click my mouse.
Know how to share like a sound.
And let me run it. Okay, now you share it, good.
I don't really know how to share a sound.
Oh, you don't know how to share the sound. Sorry, I thought you know how to share it. Okay, when you click the share screen button, right? And then you have a pop-up window on the bottom left. There's a checkbox say share computer audio. Check that box.
Okay, so share screen, do this, and then just play it.
Yeah, I see. You need to
So
share this
only-
file to me. Say, put this in Google Classroom so I can have it. Thank you so much. If you do not mind, then I can use your
Okay.
sound for my class. Very good work. All right, I think we are doing good enough. Let me give you the homework. So develop a display that will show what key is pressed. If I press A, it will display A. If I press capital A, it will display capital A. If the key is not a number, nor a letter, please display invalid key. That means if I press int, I press F1, I press the space key, I press the control key. All those keys you see invalid key, okay? So I want you to display the value. If click a mouse button, it will display the position of the mouse. You do not need to display position if it is mouse move, okay? Mouse move, you do not display. So only if the mouse button is clicked. So that means, okay, look, listen carefully. I want you to display it. It's not output here. You want to display it on the game window. So if I run, let me run it again. Okay, if I run this one, this is my game window. Now I press my keyboard key, then you should display that key value here in the game window, wherever you like to display it. It's okay. So if I press A, you display lower A. If I press uppercase A, then you display uppercase A. If I press the space key, then you say invalid key. Okay, you only need to display the letters and the numbers, and all the other keys are invalid keys. Just display it like that. You know what I need, everyone? Can trap the mouse, you can trap the event and get the information from the event. And if it's a button click, mouse button click, you display the position. Let me stop sharing. I will put this. Oh, sorry, I did not share my screen. I feel so bad. All right, so this is the. Okay, this is what I ask you. You guys need to remind me if I do not share my screen and you expect it. So if you remind me, then I can realize it sooner. Okay, sorry about that. So you say developer a display that will show what key is pressed. If I press A, it will display A. If I press capital A, it will display capital A. If the key is not a number nor a letter, please display invalid key. If click a mouse button, it will display the position of the mouse. You do not need to display position when the mouse moves. Okay. So what did I mean is that, okay, displayed here in the game window. So this is my game window now. If I press a keyboard key A, then you need to display A on this screen. If I click my mouse, you need to display the position value here. Okay. Remember to erase the old display. Erase the old display. All right. So let me show this requirement for you again. And I will post this in the classroom. And do you guys have any question? Also, let me just post this in the chat window as well. Okay. Any question? Any question from the class? All right, if there's no question, I wanted to return the class back to Miss He.
Yeah, so everything's fine here. Just